How can this old-looking farmhouse be a 12th century church abbey? Let us tell you.
Two entrances here. This would have been the original church door entrance, and the other one is the later built farmhouse entrance to the building. They're 600 years apart from each other. The church entrance was built by the Templars, and obviously the farmhouse entrance was built by people who later moved in and converted it to a farmhouse. But the whole building itself is 800 years old. See.
It was indeed over 800 years since a building was seen in this place in Waterbeach, Cambridge. But interesting to know, and claimed to be unique from it, is that the walls, pillars and arches tells us three different historical religious orders of early Catholic Britain. First monks were Christians who removed themselves from society to the Egyptian desert to endure privations and hardships as hermits. Hermits and their disciples form groups and live and share the benefits of communal living and worship. Saint Basil and Saint Benedict were the first influences of the collective approach to religion, in the idea that pursuing a solitary course of self-denial and hardship was entirely selfish. Catholic religious orders or institutes in Britain started in the 4th century. Although Christianity came to Britain with the Roman occupation, their withdrawal in the 5th century forced the faith westwards to Wales, Cornwall, and parts of Scotland. Ireland also became the center of Christian activity led by St. Patrick. Catholic Rome, still regarding Britain as its province, and pursued its people's conversion led by St. Augustine. The monastery of St. Benedict was founded in Italy since 6th century, and the rule of St. Benedict became the standard of monasticism in Western Europe in 9th century. Benedictinism was introduced into Britain by St. Augustine's mission towards the end of the 6th century, and his monastery in Canterbury was the first Benedictine house to be founded on English soil. Robert, Earl of Richmond, and owned Denny at that time, became a Benedictine monk and brought a handful of others from Ely to Denny. It was never illustrated how it looked like at that time, but a church was sufficiently built to be consecrated in 1159. Although Saxon abbeys and churches at this time was said to be usually made of wood, it's odd that traces of this period in the building's remains were sturdy stone pillars and arches. In the building's map, the north and south transepts were mainly in this period, and this scallop-designed column were said to be a Benedictine signature.
You are at Denny Abbey. I've just been exploring the whole building and people that once lived here, mainly the Benedictine monks, and I'd like to point out some of the architectural bits that they built, just on the top of the arch columns here with this scallop pattern on tops there, which you can see, which they built, and the arches going over the windows. And you get that.
It was said that the Denny Priory wasn't a success, lasting for only over 11 years with them. The Denny monks returned to Ely. Perhaps it may be too close to Ely to operate independently, they say, or it was loan payment for Benedictine monks' construction of the Ely Cathedral. Whatever it was a unique arrangement. Denny was the only property ever transferred directly from another religious order to this next significant owners. The Knights Templar. This is a tapestry pillow we bought in Lebanon, showing a typical illustration of a Knight Templar. Its iconic illustration shows a knight, as you can see his armor, with a shield and his tunic having an image of a cross. Knights Templar, or simply Templars, were among the most famous of the Western Christian military orders. They were soldier monks founded in 1118 to defend the kingdom of Jerusalem, otherwise for the Crusades, even granted freedom from the authority of bishops, and came to England in 1128. As soldiers, they had a great reputation for great ferocity and bravery, and were among the most skilled fighting units. But like monks, they also took vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. Another controversial description of the order was about its innovative financial techniques that were an early form of banking and building fortifications across Europe and the Holy Land. They probably finished building the church, which was quite small and in the shape of a cross with arms of equal length. Many of the earthworks in the surrounding fields, remnants of ponds, water channels, and other moated enclosures also belong to this period.